Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Well, let's get it. Oh, I always wonder when it's gonna.
The mic. It wasn't that long that time. I
So
just hit the mic.
Oh man, let's talk about that for a minute. All right, before we get started tonight, thank you for telling us that story. I was wondering how your wife had a little slip, or how you had a little slip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's did a number on the foot too. I put Hey Dudes on because I had boots and Hey Dudes because we were just in the cabin,
Yeah.
and I wanted throttle response feedback, so I wore Hey Dudes for a little thinner sole so I could kind of control the car instead of my big heavy boots. So, oh well.
Heard that. Well, let's get into Galatians tonight. Before we do that, though, what's everybody smoking and drinking? Start with you.
I have this beautiful tricolor cigar from you.
It's very pretty.
It's a different one.
So tell me about it.
So yeah, I went up to Cigars Plus in Houston, or not Houston, sorry, Hamilton Mill. And if y'all never been up there, y'all need to go. Mike's awesome. He's been running the place for almost 40 years.
Yep.
He's the jam. He's the bee's knees.
Solid guy.
And so he gets these no-name factory overrun cigars from Miami, and they're just stupid cheap, but they're delicious. So I got like a whole brick of these Candelas for like $70.
Really?
25 of them for $70. And then I got 2 of those. Those are like $6 a piece. What that is that's a Connecticut, Candela, and a Maduro wrapper all on the same cigar. So each third is going to have a completely different flavor profile. Very, very unique. So yeah, those are good. They have a barber pole version of that where it has all 3 of the.
I saw that in the box. Yeah.
I've got one in there. I got a whole brick of those, $99 for 25.
Wow.
You can't beat that. $4 a cigar, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're delicious. So not, it smokes like a $12 to $15 cigar.
Sure.
So not too bad. But we drinking.
Oh, that was something over there that said double oak barrel.
Oh, that's the old Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky's whiskey.
Canuck.
That Canuck. There, don't you know?
Thanks for the gold medal, gentlemen. Thank you for the gold
drinking
medal.
Canadian tears already.
They're
That's
delicious.
awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm smoking the old Candela. It's a good medium cigar. It's not too thick. I like that one because it's box pressed. I can get down with that. The other ones that I have, the barber poles, those are a little fat, a little bigger than what I like. This is right on. I want to say it's like a 48 or a 50 ring gauge. It's not too big. But did you do the old crown cut on it?
I sure did.
You did? Are you hooked on the crown cut?
I might be.
Might be. So I got a good V cut on this one. I like it. And I am drinking what Senor Brandon is drinking, but I will not take your thunder. Please tell me about thy libation.
Well, back for a second podcast in a row. We're going with Country Boy Brewing, Cougar Bait. Cougar Bait.
Yeah.
It is an American blonde ale, and it is delicious.
Does the blonde ale have anything to do with the cougar? Anyways,
Yes.
let's keep going.
Possibly. I don't know.
You're right.
Always
Edit
go
that
after
out.
the,
The wife
always
might
go
listen
after
to
the
this.
blonde cougars.
Do it.
Always go after the blonde cougars. If you go after the red cougars, you're in for trouble.
Well, yeah, they got more teeth.
Right.
They
Just spicy cat.
I'm done.
Elusive creature.
I'm done. Very elusive creatures in the woods.
In the woods.
In the wilds of Florida.
Got nothing. What are you smoking?
Yes, please do tell. What are you smoking?
They're trying to recover right now.
Not the devil's lettuce. No, this is just a quorum I grabbed out of the box. I did see your barber poles in there, but it was one. I'd agree that they were a little thick. They seem to be like a
Girthy.
They're like a 55, 58er.
They're big.
Yeah, they're big boys.
I think it's a 6. I think it's a 60 by 6.
Really?
Wowzer.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it seemed
it's a
like a
big
thick
old
boy.
ring gauge,
That's
It was too thick for me to take tonight.
It's
I'll give you
almost
that.
It's not quite shack worthy, but it's getting to shack.
Yeah.
Shackish. It's shack-esque.
It's I'll give it Kobe just under Shaq.
Oh,
Watch it.
Oh, bless.
And drinking the good old Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, DP.
So, meant to bring. I got a box of Undercrowns.
Oh,
Off Cigar Bid. Yeah,
You
that
have to
are
bring me one.
fantastic. I
Okay.
completely meant to because I now have
Yeah.
a humidor set up much like your own.
very nice.
Thank you to the wife for that.
Yes.
Nice.
But I got a box of Undercrowns off of Cigar Bid, so I meant to bring you a couple of those because those are very nice smokes.
I have gotten a couple guys hooked. I mean, like almost addictive hooked to cigar bid.
Yeah,
Like I got a guy that's like, I got in so much trouble with my wife for how much I've spent on cigar bid over the past month. I was like, how much have you spent? He goes, it's been like $400. I'm like, oh,
Dude, I don't. No,
you're screwed.
I don't
It's-
have that problem.
well,
You-
he just bought the size up of the humidor that I have.
Oh, okay, so-
It's called the Need One.
Yeah.
But he got the size up that does. It's called Need One.
Need one or need 100?
Yeah. It
Need
holds
one fits 100.
it holds 150 cigar.
Oh
And
yeah,
so he had to fill it up.
absolutely. It's like, I've
had
got
to.
the space now.
Too.
I just thought about this.
We do
This
not
is
have
how
empty drawers.
we, as the age group that we're in,
Huh?
this is how we deal with and have evolved from the 150 disc stereo. We are now at the 150
Cigar
cigar
humidor.
You know, I'm
Dude.
here for it.
That was the most gangster thing there was back
Oh
in the
my
day.
gosh,
You could
absolutely.
put your entire CD collection in one rotating. Oh yeah, that was the coolest
Hit
thing.
shuffle and it just
Oh yeah,
Plays for
the
days.
greatest.
stays.
Days.
You were the man when
Oh,
you
yeah.
had one. You were like
Yeah.
the envy of every party. Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Now we're just smoking cigars.
Now we're humidors and smoking cigars. But I'm here for it.
Sugar bait.
That's what we do.
Again, it follows like our buddy Jeremiah said. His was it his father-in-law or his dad? I can't remember. Somebody Cluston said, when you're young, you drink a lot and you drink cheap,
Yeah,
and as you age, you drink less, but you drink better.
drink better.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Which I wouldn't recommend the drinking a lot when you're younger, but
No.
drinking,
It makes you appreciate the less.
I don't know. I never. I
Yeah.
still appreciate the less, and I didn't.
I like. I'm pretty sure nowadays this is like the only time in the week that I drink.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays I'll have a little glass. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into Galatians. We tapped into it last week, and I thought we had a really good conversation. Good stuff with Brandon and Jeremiah. It was Jeremiah's last week with us. I hate you.
Quote, unquote, he'll be back.
Of course he'll be. He can't stay
Like
away.
we've said goodbye to him. Like I think Brandon's
17 times
yeah,
now?
17 times, 19
Yeah.
times. I think Brandon's at 20 because he's
Yeah.
around every time.
I told him when he left he had to leave his clothes so we could make the little Sheldon thing. He's like, nobody wants to see that. So we talked about the vest and the everything, the shorts, all of it. We were gonna do the whole thing.
Should we get a little picture of him? Just hang him up on the
Just
wall for a
hang a
little.
shrine. A Jeremiah. Oh, that'd be awkward. A Jeremiah shrine. This is actually Josh.
Yeah.
Josh Outwater.
Yeah, we need to get a picture of Josh on the wall.
I could get a cutout done.
Let's do
We
a
could get a
cutout.
cutout done.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome. He would get such a kick out of that. So,
Like peeking out from
Just
around the corner, like over there.
it's like the little Jesus. I saw that. It's Jeremiah's head. I saw that.
Just, Jeremiah will appreciate. Did you say doctrine?
Did you say
Oh,
did you say counseling? That's good. I love it. All right. So last week we did Galatians chapter 1 and stopped into chapter 2, verse 4. So we're going to pick up chapter 2, verse 5, and we're going to go through the end of the chapter. I believe it ends in verse 21. So that's kind of how we broke up the sections in Galatians. So who wants to read verse 5 through 10?
Sure.
Verse 5 through 10.
All right. Galatians 2, 5 through 10. To them we did not yield even in submission, even for a moment, so that the truth of the gospel might be preserved for you. And from those who seem to be influential, where they were makes no difference to me, God shows no partiality. Those, I say, who seemed influential added nothing to me. On the contrary, when they saw that I had been entrusted with the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been entrusted with the gospel to the circumcised, for he who worked through Peter for his apostolic ministry to the circumcised worked also through me for mine to the Gentiles. And when James and Cephas and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given to me, they gave the right hand of fellowship to Barnabas and me, that we should go to the Gentiles and they to the circumcised. Only they asked us to remember the poor, the very thing I was eager to do.
That's good. That's good. Paul explains that the influential leaders in Jerusalem added nothing to his message. Instead, they recognized his calling to preach to the Gentiles, just as Peter was called to the Jews. James and Peter and John extended the right hand of fellowship, affirming unity in the gospel. Their only request was that Paul remember the poor, something he was already eager to do. What does it mean that the Jerusalem apostles added nothing to Paul's call to the Gentiles? What does that mean?
I think it's that there wasn't some sense of approval that he needed from them for his call. He was assured that God had given him that call. And so it wasn't as if he needed their blessing necessarily. But at the same time, I think it shows that he still wanted that. There still needed to be a brotherhood of we are all serving the gospel together.
That's perfect. When I'm reading this, I'm seeing unity. I'm seeing a
Mhm.
recognition that, okay, Paul's gospel, the gospel that he is preaching is the same as what we were taught by Christ himself. And so, yeah, when I read added nothing, it's not in a derogatory sense. It's in a unified gospel sense. I think when you read through the entirety of Galatians, there are several themes that come up. And one of the major theological tenets is justification by faith. It's huge. Of course, as we just got done with Acts a few weeks ago, and you look through the entirety of Acts, and it's nothing but Judaizers sending letters to these churches trying to teach the church that they need to be circumcised and they need to still follow ceremonial law and they
Mhm.
still need to be focused on the Mosaic law, and what Galatians, and it's one of the most hardcore in your face books about the fact that it is justification by faith through grace, or by grace through faith. It's very, very important, that Paul is trying to get across to this. Anyone else that adding to that before we jump through?
No, I think
So the practical question here: how does the call to remember the poor expose whether your understanding of the gospel is merely intellectual or is truly shaping your priorities and sacrifices?
Well, the truth of the gospel kind of hits at right at its core. I can do nothing. I'm weak. I I am incompatible. I'm incomplete, and I need Christ to do all of that for me. Right. So I was without. So I need to remember those who are without right now.
Mhm.
That's poor in spirit, poor in money, poor in food, whatever that poverty looks like. I need to remember that because I was there as well.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
I think some of it too. Same point, but it goes into servitude. It, Christ was here to serve us, serve us through salvation, serve us through showing a way and guidance and all that. And so we are here to serve others. And same thing, like poor in financial aspects, poor in spirit, poor in whatever, like you said, Brandon. We're here to serve those that are poor because we were poor as well.
Well, yeah, and when you look at it, kind of part of the question was, how does it uh, show your understanding is not merely intellectual? It requires you to do something.
Yeah.
It requires a hand. It's not just a head and maybe even a heart, but you're also a hand reaching out. You're doing the work that's exactly what Christ did. I mean, obviously Christ's mission was to bring the kingdom of God,
Sure.
spiritual kingdom of God to earth. He set it up with his sacrifice. His death, burial, and resurrection inaugurated the kingdom. And that's what's beautiful. And that's what he preached more than anything else in his 3-year ministry was the kingdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
All those parables we went through so many months ago. But it required them to not just say, it required them to do.
Yeah.
It required them to do.
It's not just a story; it's an instruction manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Well, and I think too, it's also not attacking necessarily, but also addressing. I guess it's a better word for it. Addressing that very thing that was a large part of Jesus's issue with the Pharisees
Yeah.
was,
Very
okay,
good.
great, you've got all these extra rules that you're doing, but are you? I mean, he fussed at them for ones that they would say they're serving the church so they wouldn't take care of their own family, like their parents or whatever. Like he's like, you're doing this, but you're neglecting like the very thing that you should have been doing in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've been challenged by with being in our Auburnish group and at the church we've been at for the past 5 years is constantly being challenged that it has to be, your faith has to have legs. It has to have
Yes.
feet and arms and hands to do, not, it's not just an intellectual practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're getting that directly.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like you can't just choose 2 out of the 3, the head, the heart, and the hands. If you choose a head and the heart with no hands, you're a Pharisee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it doesn't have action, it's it's failed.
Yeah.
It's failed because the gospel is meant to be personal. The gospel is meant to. I love the way you said have legs. I love that. Who wants to read verse 11 through 14? I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a sinus infection. So if I cough, don't
So clear it out.
make it worse.
I'll take it. But when Cephas came to Antioch, I oppose him to his face because he stood condemned. For before some people came to James, he used to eat with the ethnic groups. But when they came, he drew back and separated himself, fearing those of the circumcised. And the rest of the Jews joined his hypocrisy, so that even Barnabas was carried away with their hypocrisy. But when I saw that they didn't walk uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said to Peter before them all, if you, being a Jew, live as the Gentiles do, and not as the Jews do, why do you compel the ethnic groups to live as the Jews do?
Mm. So just so there isn't any confusion, Cephas and Peter are the same
Yes.
name. Cephas would be his I think it's his Greek name, and then Peter's obviously his Jewish name. His original name was Simon before Christ changed that.
Changed it to Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not to be confused there with 2 different people. Paul recounts how he confronted Peter in Antioch. Peter had initially eaten freely with Gentiles, but when certain men came from James, he withdrew out of fear of the circumcision group. Excuse me. His hypocrisy led others astray, even Barnabas. Paul publicly rebuked Peter for not living in line with the truth of the gospel. Before we jump into the questions, what are y'all's thoughts on that little section right there? Because I know for those who are not really what's the word, non-confrontational, this passage would seem like a giant no bueno. Like don't do that in church. You can't call people out in church. So what are y'all's thoughts on that? Like, how do you feel about Paul and Peter going at it in front of everybody?
I honestly kind of like it because this to me is one of the foundations of kind of the fruit inspection for those that are Christ believers. Of if you're a believer, you're open yourself up to fruit inspection, and
Yeah.
we hold each other accountable. And this is kind of one of those of I think Paul holding Peter accountable of like, hey, like, you talk a good talk, but are we walking that?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you were given a chance to not, you walked away.
Well, and I wonder, and just from a historical standpoint, correct me if I'm wrong here, if anyone knows, but does this coincide? Like which one happened first? Like maybe this happened, and then Acts 10 happens, where Peter's given that vision, where God's like, "Don't call unclean what I've called clean." Do you ever wonder if there's a
Ooh,
historical cross reference there?
Mm.
Well, because I mean, you know, when y'all, actually, I was here for that one. When we wrapped up Acts 20 with the 28 with Paul's missionary journeys, I mean, the letters to the Galatians, if he's all these were written during Paul's time.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, Acts covers a lot. It's not like we read Acts and now we're going to move on to, it covers a lot.
Well,
Yeah, it's not sequential.
We read
Yeah, yeah.
9 where Paul's conversion story happens, and he's commissioned to the Gentiles, and then we read at the end of chapter 9, and he goes and preaches to the Gentiles, and then right into chapter 10
Peter
is where
has the
we see.
vision.
I'm just wondering if maybe there's. I'd never thought about that
No,
until I was thinking through that this afternoon. I'm like, I wonder if
that had something to do
I
with it.
wonder if God pulled him aside and said, "Look, dude, what are you doing?"
It isn't there part of that where it mentions in Acts, because it mentions it a couple of times, where Paul goes back and spends time with Peter.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which chapter or which chapters all of that happens, but there's some time where Paul goes away, and then between his trips is he comes back and spends time with Peter, and they kind of discuss and talk and make sure that they're delivering the same message.
So they do. He spends a lot of time with Silas. He spends a lot of time with Timothy and Barnabas. It does talk about Simon the tanner, so not necessarily Simon Peter. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, there
don't
was
remember.
there was I remember we were going through it kind of when in the on the small group side of it, we were
Yeah.
going through it, and it mentioned that he came back in it because it mentioned he spent several days with Peter.
Yeah.
Because it was with some of the other ones, and then it was with Peter. Because remember, Peter like stays away for a little bit because you can tell they're not seeing eye to eye. But it there for a little bit, it mentions that he spent several days with Peter.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this
Maybe.
was maybe
Maybe.
at like before that.
Yeah. And I could be totally off with that idea. I just think it'd be kind of cool if that kind of coincided with Acts 10, thinking that God pulled Peter to the side, but like, look, bro, hey, don't call unclean what I've called clean.
Yeah, it's like
talking
I've got
about
a plan in
Gentiles.
mind. You're kind of messing it up.
What are you doing? Yeah.
What you doing?
What are you doing?
It's what we call after the F.
After the F. That's correct. What does Peter's actions with the Gentiles reveal about apostles?
Sorry, real quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
In
ahead.
Acts 15, Paul and Barnabas go to the Jerusalem council. And that's when it says they met with the apostles and elders about one question, but it can't be they just talked about one question, but, I think there
So they would
was
have
some
been-
time.
So it'd been well after. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
it doesn't coincide. That's all
Yeah.
right. I just
It says they returned to Antioch in Syria. And that was at the end of chapter 14. And that's literally what we're talking about
that's
right here.
what's that's cool because Acts will tell you. Acts will tell you. It's an early church history book.
Yeah.
Well, and if we go back and read, there's quite a few times where Peter, I will say, because we've talked about this here on the show too. I think that's a backslide from Peter. Yeah, we've already had the call out.
100%.
Where God's like, both sides of the houses are good, Gentiles and
I agree.
Jewish.
I agree.
So I think this may be a
backslide.
even though it doesn't specifically call it out as a backslide. I think this is a backslide because Peter.
giving into social pressure.
Well,
Right.
that's perfect.
And then
That's perfect. So, what does that reveal about apostles? And I think this is a really good lesson just for the church as a whole.
They're fallen individuals like the rest of us.
We're daggum. I'm not an apostle, but they're human.
Yeah.
They screw up and they mess up, and I think that's a really good thing for someone reading the Bible to see this. That two apostles called by God, commissioned by God, given gifts and abilities by God, can still muck it up.
Yep. There's one perfect one.
And we killed him.
Well, the Jews did.
Yeah.
Well, I think
We're spiritual Israel.
Sorry, I had to.
I think it's instructive for us as the church today, and it's instructive for elders today that there needs to be a humility in their service, that and not just like inwardly they keep to themselves, like they need to tell their congregations all the time, listen, y'all, I'm a fallen individual as you are.
Yes.
So when I stand in this pulpit, hopefully every time that they step in there, they have gone through a very critical time of saying, Lord, this is your pulpit. This is your church. These are your people. This is your gospel,
Yes.
not mine. So take what comes out of here and make sure it's correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, it'd be great to hear more. Great to hear more preachers do that.
Yeah.
I think some that preach right now probably wouldn't preach if they did that.
Ooh.
And
that'd be- yeah.
I'll be the first to, publicly appreciate my pastor because he 100% is super humble that way. Like,
Same.
he'll 100%
Yeah.
from the pulpit straight up like I'm the dumbest one in this room.
Yeah.
Which is perfect example as to how this is of God, not of me, because I'm not smart enough to come up with this.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to lead this thing. It has to be God. And I love that. I love that attitude.
Yeah. Same. Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one thing I love about Nick too. Up at Jefferson is he does things, and it's not even because I've seen some pastors do it where it's always I used to do this or I did. It's always stories from
tense.
it's always stories from the past. It's almost given. I used to do it that way, but now I don't do it anymore because I'm a pastor. Nick's like, no, I screwed up yesterday. Let me tell you a story about what I did yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And this is wrong, and this is how being accountable. I'm like, dude, but you love that about them because they're human too.
Yes.
Well,
So-
honestly, that's a heresy that's among certain movements in the church now, is that once you're saved, you're perfected at that point.
Oh,
Oh,
sure,
Lord.
yeah.
You know this.
That's
I mean,
a horrible
it's
heresy.
that the whole apostolic, can't remember what it's called, AR. Anyway, that whole movement, that's one of the tenets, is that they're, essentially they're past sin now.
Yeah, because they're past sin.
Okay.
Not only forgiven, not just that they're forgiven, they're
can be
past sin.
perfected.
Yeah.
That's
nuts.
it. That's it. That's exactly
that
it.
you can be
You can be
perfected.
perfected before heaven.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
Oof.
arrogant.
I
Well,
believe we're given.
there's your first error.
I believe we're given more tools to help the struggle against sin, but I don't think
You're
we're perfected.
Literally just sin.
Yeah.
By saying that. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. How should you respond when you see respected leaders or peers acting inconsistently with the gospel?
Smack them upside the head with the Bible.
I think that's the
Just-
Baptist way to do it.
Right.
That's the Baptist way.
Or just
Bible
self-righteous.
thumping.
That's
right.
it.
Just
You thump
Bible.
'em.
It's not just Baptist, I hate to tell you.
I know.
but
I just grew up in that.
Yeah. I just whack them.
As Jeremiah says, severely Baptist. That's how I grew-
Severely Baptist.
Severely.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. Severely independent, fundamental Baptist. Took all the damn fun out of being mental. 100%.
yeah. So what do you do? One-on-one.
Yeah.
And if they don't want that, then you take a brother with you.
And then
This is
we're,
why
then
it's
we're three or more
churches,
gathered.
the individual churches are called to have an elder board
Yes.
and to help keep the pastors
Firmly agree.
humble
Accountability.
and accountable.
Yeah.
Yes.
I shared this a few months back. There was a time where, and our pastor, I love him to death, does a great job. Something caught my ear, or didn't catch my ear, I should say. He was talking about being saved. I can't remember the exact context of what it was going on or the sermon, but I never heard the word repent. And for what like my ears perked up like I'm a dog looking for a grouse or something. And it sat with me and it didn't sit well. So
Yeah.
the next week I went, and sometimes you can't find him. He's all moving around. So I found one of the campus pastors and I brought brought to his attention. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I didn't hear. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that it's just a mistake, but and he assured me, but at the same time, he said, I will make sure Jason knows.
I was going to say, I think that's the key is not, I don't want somebody to just wave it off. I want to say, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
Yeah.
I will make sure that so-and-so, or if you're talking to that person directly, you know what? Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
100%. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think for me, I have been guilty in the past of doing what Paul did. Now, I think the way in which Paul went about it was correct. I think Scripture was clear that that was something that needed to be called out, and it needed to be called out in front of people because he was leading others astray. But I have been guilty of calling men of God out in a way that was not helpful, that was not kind, and that was not grace filled and understanding. And so I think we need to maybe instead of focusing so much on, how do we approach leaders? I mean, that's one way in which you should not approach a leader. And at the end of the day, we talked about this last week. The words that you say to him or her are never going to seep in if there's no relationship. It's about relationship. If you have no relationship with your pastor, you don't have a voice in his life. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't.
No.
You have nothing. He's going to look at you like some disgruntled church member, one of the 20 emails that he has to answer on Monday morning.
Or if you're showing up once a month.
Yeah. Who are you?
I didn't like that set the way you did the entire Christmas.
You should have tucked in your shirt.
Yeah. Like, I only see you at Christmas, maybe on Easter and Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think this is good for us when we think also about maybe other pastors that we see, social media, podcast, whatever. I think we need to take note of, our approach to them as well.
Yes.
We're not a part of their flock. We're not a part of that. So I think part of it is pray for that pastor, pray for the leaders around that pastor. God, please do whatever it is that you need to do to get their attention on that.
And that's a really good point. Instead of
lighten up social media, it doesn't help.
Instead of thinking that you have to say something, maybe sometimes
you
can just be quiet and pray, and God can use some other means to get that leader, that church leader's attention. Sometimes it's okay to actually pray about things
and keep your mouth shut.
And shut your fat mouth. I'm staring at a mirror right now. Okay. So yeah, listen, I don't think anyone here is surprised to hear that I'm an opinionated individual. And thank you. And so
doesn't sound right.
It yeah. Okay.
For as long as I've known you, I've never picked that up.
Never. So it's that's something that I feel like God's done a very good job of reining me in and teaching a little bit of humility, because I don't want it. I don't want humility. I want to be right, and I want to be right all the time.
Yes.
And I'm never right because I married one that won't allow me to be right. So that's that humble pie. But anyways, we digress.
Yes.
Verse 15 and 16. Who wants to hit those real quick?
I'll do it. We ourselves are Jews by birth and not Gentile sinners. Yet we know that a person is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ. So we also have believed in Jesus Christ in order to be justified by faith in Christ and not by works of the law, because by works of the law, no one will be justified.
Boom. Man, he lowers the boom there. Paul lays down the heart of theology. Even Jews by birth know that no one is justified by works of the law, but only through faith in Jesus Christ. Therefore, both Jews and Gentiles are justified by faith, not by law keeping, since by works of the law, no one will be justified. Y'all, we've talked about this, I feel like, numerous times. I never even realized this until like 8 months ago. But salvation always came to people by faith through grace. always,
100%.
even in the Old Testament,
Yes.
when the Mosaic law was there, that was never to save you.
It was to reveal sin.
It was to reveal who your depravity, your need
Mhm.
for Him, and so it was always. And we look at Hebrews, or even in John, where it talks about Abraham believed God. He had faith, and it was accredited to him. It was
As
counted to him
righteousness.
as righteousness. And so it's important that we recognize this isn't a new this isn't a new idea. You know, this isn't innovation. This is 100% the way it's always been, just applied to to another group of people,
Mhm.
everyone else. And so it's important for us to recognize that as a theological concept there. Why is justification by faith alone, apart from works, the essential core of the gospel? Why are you laughing? That's weird. I'm just
No.
kidding. I like it.
Why is it the essential core of the
Why
gospel?
is it the core?
I think because we've talked about dispensation here too,
Dispensationalism. Yeah.
dispensationalism, and I think that's part of what draws us because this is the new covenant, this is the new way
Mm-hmm.
of there have been laws and there were things to do to become clean if you sinned,
Right.
right?
Ceremonial. laws,
Ceremonial things, but those were acts. There were things to do if you to become clean if you had sinned,
Mhm.
and things that you were supposed to do and laws to uphold.
Mhm.
This is the new covenant of the only thing you have to do to become clean and and to be saved from your sins is have faith in Christ.
But at the crux of even those sacrificial systems of the Old Testament,
Yes.
at the crux of them was still always, I'm believing that this sacrifice is going to save me.
Sure.
It was always still by faith through, or by grace through faith. This is what's beautiful, is because it was the penal substitutionary atonement. Okay, and it's
Yeah.
a big gigantic word for Christ died so that there never had to be another sacrifice.
Right. But that's the faith has always been there.
100%.
And the thing, this took away the acts.
Yes,
That's where that was the shift. If this took away
that
any,
requirement. 100%.
don't have to have it anymore. And that's where it's like, wait,
It's big.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like
Well-
no, all you have to now we've instead of the faith plus acts, all you have to do is believe.
Right.
Well, I think we see a good example of human tendency. Christ is talking to the Pharisees and he's calling them out, right? You clean the outside of the cup, but the inside is dirty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he wasn't just calling them out, he's calling all of us out.
100%.
That was the law was supposed to show that internally we are just despicable.
Yes.
Yes.
But what was happening in human tendency is if I do this just right, if I act this way, if I post all of the happy pictures on Facebook, I'm good. I'm in a happy place.
Yes.
And then Christ and the Sermon on the Mount, he notches everything up. You say you've heard, don't kill if you have hate in your heart for your brother.
Boom, you've just killed
Right?
him.
If
You look at a woman to lust,
yes,
you have
You've-
already committed adultery in your heart.
Yes.
Like, people are like, well, dang it, I'm screwed.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
start our human tendency is to start to lean more on our works.
Yeah.
Whether we're consciously doing it or not, we typically will go to that because I can control what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then Christ is coming along, and the core of this is no. Your works are an outpouring of the Spirit. It has nothing to do with you.
Brandon, that's so good, buddy.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
good.
I love that.
You know, I don't know that you would have really been able to explain that as well as you did a year ago. That I'm so impressed. Before we move, and that was a really good explanation. Maybe we need to start defining some of these words. Okay, justification. What is the definition of from a biblical theological understanding? What is justification? Because that can have many meanings in a culture as ours who doesn't understand biblical language. So, what is justification in y'all's minds?
To be made right.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
not right like now I'm right, but to me to be given a place of righteousness now
Mhm.
instead of being, condemned.
Well, it's a
I would-
legal term.
Yeah, I would say it's the reason for the righteousness.
Yeah.
Justification is the reason of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Justification is the reason of. So biblical context, when it talks about justification by
Yeah.
faith alone, it's the reason that I deserve to be saved. It's the reason that I deserve salvation. And it kind of gets back to what we talked about the other day, like where the Fort Lauderdale question of, when you get up to heaven, what are you going to say for the reason that you're there? And it's if your answer doesn't start with Christ died for me,
Mm.
it's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
So I think that to me is the justification. Justification is the reason
That's
you're
good.
able to be there.
That's solid. So it's a legal term where the penalty of the crime that you committed
Mhm.
has been accredited, has been fulfilled. I feel like it was really popular a couple years ago. The message on tetelestai. Are you guys familiar with tetelestai? It's a Greek word which means it is finished. So when Christ was on the cross, he used the term tetelestai. It is finished. But tetelestai has many different meanings. It was a debt has been paid. It is the battle has been won.
Mm.
And then the third one was the what is it called when you're given the sentence has been fulfilled. And so those are the three big meanings for when Christ said tetelestai. All three apply.
Well, and I think this is really, really, it is obviously it's important because Paul's, reiterating it, and we need to have it reiterated. But it's very important because a lot of people think that Christianity just means that we gotta. It's okay, you sinned, but it's okay now. That's not what it means. Like
No.
there was people, and partly because us as Christians, we don't do a great job of explaining it.
Right.
And the explanation is all what we just said, which is Jesus absorbed all of my sin on him so that now he puts on me his holiness. So that's that exchange, and people don't quite, even us as Christians, we have to get this right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then people don't understand the exchange that happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
It just doesn't happen.
You said the justification, Christ absorbed our penalty through. There's going to be another big word. It's called crap. What's the
Better than crap.
It's better than crap. Yeah. It's the resolving of God's wrath. Starts with a P. Why can't I think right now? I just had it a second ago.
I think they're starting with
No, not penal substitutionary. It was
starts with a B or a P.
P. Yeah. It's the propitiation. So propitiation's huge. So
Propitiation for our sin.
Propitiation for our sin. It literally means that the wrath from God that was deserved for all of us because we are rebels was all at once. Everyone's sin and God's wrath for that was focused on Christ at the cross. And through the cross, because of that propitiation, he satisfied the wrath of God. He satisfied our judgment that was needed. Because of that satisfaction, we can now be justified by faith through grace. Isn't that beautiful?
That's amazing. And it made me think this. The most painful thing that he went through on the cross was absorbing all the sin, not the beatings, not the unable
It's
to
all
breathe.
physical.
Yeah.
The spiritual was so much more.
I was going to say the spiritual
That's
torture on that
crazy
one.
to think about.
Every sin, past, present, and future, was thrown at him all at once in that 9-hour period where he agonized on the cross,
Say the
or 6-hour period, whatever it was.
What was it? The P word.
Propitiation.
Propitiation.
It's a hard one. 100%.
Yeah, we're going to keep talking
that
about
one's
that
actually in scripture too.
It is.
Propitiation.
Yeah.
For the propitiation, it just means satisfied God's wrath.
one. Okay. Because Brandon and I both looked at each other and just went, "What?"
I knew. I mean, not a lot of people know about that one,
Corinthians?
but it's do what
Is it Corinthians?
I believe it's probably in
For all of our
Romans.
listeners that have no idea what these big SAT words are, you're not alone.
Yes.
Listen, it's,
Duke and I are here
I
for
had,
you.
we,
These
I
are called
legit,
50-50 words.
I legit
50%
had a
knows it,
guy.
50% don't.
I had a guy 3 weeks ago. He's kind of new to the group, and he's awesome. He's been coming, and he came to myself and Brian a couple weeks ago. He goes, "Hey, can I have some sort of like a pre holy smokes like list of big words you guys are going to use?" And so I know what you guys are talking about. I looked at him and said, "No."
Nailed it.
He goes,
You nailed it.
"Yeah."
Go ahead.
It was it
No,
Romans.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I said, "No." He goes, "Why not?" I said, "I'm going to tell you the same thing that one of the heroes of the faith, R.C. Sproul, told his congregation when they said the same thing to him. You say a lot of big words."
Yeah.
He looked at them and said, "Stick around long enough and you're going to learn them."
Mhm.
This is all part of discipleship. We got to grow. And so you had to learn the word at some point.
Yeah.
You had to learn it. But,
Tonight's
but
that
all
night.
those, all 22 of them that are listening right now are going to now know propitiation means satisfaction of God's wrath. Justification means declared righteous.
Yes.
They're going to know that. And that's huge faith
Yeah.
for understanding why it is that we're so profoundly thankful for what God did for us.
Romans 3.
This is Romans 3, okay.
I'm going to go for. Can I read a couple of things?
Read whatever you want.
All right. Okay, we'll do 3:21 to 25.
Bring it, Father Keith.
Okay. Just don't even. God help me.
It's Daddy Keith.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Daddy.
Mama Jordan. All right.
Sorry, Daddy.
But now the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law. This goes exactly what we're talking about, apart from the law. Although the law and the prophets bear witness to it,
Yes.
the righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe.
Mm-hmm.
For there's no distinction, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That one's been drilled into me. And are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God put forward as a propitiation by his blood to be received by faith.
Yep.
This was to show God's righteousness.
Right.
Because in his, this is good too, because in his divine forbearance, he had passed over former sins.
Well, yeah,
Ooh.
and that's exactly what the sacrificial system in the Old Testament was meant for. So those lambs and the oxen and the doves that they used to sacrifice
Bloodshed.
per family, it was all about the blood.
Yeah.
And so it was a temporary forbearance. That's a perfect word.
I was going to say, the
temporary
forbearance was amazing.
forbearance of God's wrath.
Mhm.
So God said, "I am satisfied for the moment."
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
But it was always to look forward to what Christ was going to do for all eternity.
It was all a picture.
It was a picture. What
Not just a
Christ
picture,
did was a once for all, never had to happen again. All of the wrath for all time, past, present, and future, were all laid at that moment, to where that's why we say Christ was the Lamb of God slain before the foundations of the earth. It was
Yeah.
always the plan.
Right.
Mhm.
It was always in the decree for that to happen. It's just when you start seeking this stuff and getting it, it just becomes more and more beautiful.
I think part of it too, I think, Lord willing, I think it's part of what trips us up is that we have the Old and New
Yeah.
Testament.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, it's not in the sense that one's not different than the other theologically.
Mm-mm.
It is one thread. So I think that's a lot of what people get tripped up on is, I like the God in the New Testament. He's all lovey and he's all wrathy in the Old Testament. Well, no, he's been all grace and all mercy from the beginning.
Ever since.
It's been
But he's
one,
also
yeah.
all righteousness.
yeah.
Which is the same righteousness that took ropes and created a whip and beat the crap out of people in the temple courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that same wrath that you see in the Old Testament, Jesus is doing it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he dies for us so that that wrath that we see in the Old Testament can be appeased forever. So we can be justified by faith through grace.
So you asked earlier, why is this such a
Wartime.
why is this a core belief in what God's given us? It is unlike any other religion
So good.
ever,
There you go.
because every other religion is about appeasing some type of god or gods, or appeasing the world or the universe, the universal spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
It's all about appeasing that entity to make them happy with us.
Yeah.
And God's like, you were never going to make me happy on your own because you're sinful. I'm doing all of it.
I had to do it for you.
I'm doing all of that work because I do love you and I
Oh my
want to
God.
have that relationship
Yeah.
with you.
Never.
That's no other religion ever says anything like that.
Never.
They're all very selfish. It's all about
Yeah.
the self.
Never
doing
has a
something.
king.
Yeah.
Never has a king left his throne to go die among peasants.
No.
Mhm.
And that's our story.
Yeah.
But what's beautiful about that is he ain't dead.
Rebellious peasants, by that.
Rebellious peasants. Rebellious dumb peasants. Yes.
man. Well, why you got to just go straight to meddling like that? I know what I am. Thank you. Rebellious
we
and stupid. That's funny.
Sheep.
A sheep.
Yeah, and I would say that, like, reading through it, I hate to hear that. It's one of those things that how I hear things of like, it's not nothing makes God happy. One thing makes God happy:
Yes.
us choosing Him, us choosing to follow Him and believe in Him.
Devotion, absolutely.
Devotion makes him happy.
Relationship,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, choosing to have a relationship with God makes him happy.
Yes.
Everything else is on him.
Yeah, but that's got to come. It's got to come by bloodshed.
Right.
It's got to come. If that never happened, what we're doing here could never happen.
Right. Yeah.
We would all, as Romans 3 also perfectly says, we all like sheep have gone astray. We have all gone to our own way. We are all together worthless. No one seeks for God.
Mm-hmm.
No one.
No one.
No one seeks.
No one chooses.
Ooh.
Section 4. I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to throw
we
it
do-
out there.
Well, we had that conversation last week. He and Jeremiah ganged up on me. They did. They ganged up on me.
That's fine.
They didn't win, but they ganged up on
In
me.
love.
Look, it's
How
okay.
do
It's
so?
all good.
How do you struggle with relying on works, achievements, morality, religious acts to feel right before God instead of trusting in Christ alone? Y'all, I've studied this not my entire life, but I've been around this my entire life, and I still completely struggle with this.
Yeah, I was good. To me, it's a daily thing because I go back to what Keith was talking about. That a lot of other gods, like I want to do things that are pleasing to God, and I want to do things that I feel here justify my salvation.
Yeah,
So I feel like I need to do as much as I can here to justify it. Kind of like, justification by faith. It's like, yeah, but I feel like I need to earn it.
Don't
Yeah,
I need to
but
do something?
It was, yeah, but it's like I need to earn it because that was by faith alone. Almost became
yeah.
the deeper you go, the easier it gets. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's only by faith.
Well, even as stupid as I made a mistake today and my day turned out to be crap, I must have earned that.
Yeah,
Like God,
Yeah.
God must have done that on purpose,
I've angered God.
and that is not how God works.
yeah. He told me to do something, I didn't do it, so now he's angry at me. So, now I have a bad day.
I'm catching hell.
Yeah,
I'm catching hell, and that's not at all how our God works.
no,
And that's another form of thinking that works will please God.
sure.
That's exactly what that is.
I mean, that's the
So is
complete
that
opposite
sin causes
thinking.
sin?
Do what?
Sin causes sin.
Yeah.
I sinned, so now I think God's wrath is
Yeah.
punishing me, which is on
It's a tit for tat.
It's a
You
tit
think
for
God's
tat.
a tit for tat God? He's not a tit for tat God.
No.
No,
No.
No.
In fact, when he saved you, he was fully aware, has always been fully aware of all of the things you would ever do that would hurt his heart.
yes,
And he still chose you, and he still loves you, and he still wants you, and he still gives you calling. He still gives you purpose in that. And he's given you all of the forgiveness you're ever going to need
For that.
for every single thing that you're ever going to do stupid.
Mhm.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
It's he did not give you more than what you needed. He gave you exactly what you needed.
Yep.
Because of everything he already knew you were going to do. In fact, my favorite quote I ever heard, and it was right after I was fired from the church I was at, completely deserved, had sexual sin, all sorts of stuff going on. I saw a quote, and it was the most comforting thing I've ever seen in my life. It was, when God called you, he already factored in your stupidity.
I like that.
He already factored it in. I'm like,
Matter of fact,
thanks.
he's going to use it for his glory.
And our good and his glory, 100%.
Hmm.
I meant it for evil. He means it for good.
That's why I like people that, are agnostic or atheists or just anti coming to church. You'll hear it a lot of times like, oh, if I went to church, if I stepped in there, lightning would strike me. God would strike me down if I walked into church. It's
If he was throwing out lightning bolts, there wouldn't be nobody left in there.
right. It's like
He'd have got me a long time ago.
if he was throwing out lightning bolts, everybody would be fried right now. And two, if it was that kind of God, he don't care if you in church or not.
Yeah.
And-
yeah.
You don't have to go to church for him to find out. He already knows.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we don't worship Zeus, so get out of the Greek gods,
Get out of
please.
the
All
Greek
right.
gods.
Well, I will say
That's great.
grew up
Yeah, that's good
in a
stuff.
Baptist family. We didn't go to church as much,
Mhm.
but it was a Baptist background. In high school, I went to a Pentecostal church with a friend of mine
Uh-oh.
for quite a few years. Well, I'm in high school and I'm starting to run with the wrong kids and I'm just doing stupid stuff. And so I stopped going to church. And when I would get questioned about it, did I believe in God? Absolutely. Did I believe in Jesus? Absolutely. But I would give the excuse, if I walked into a church right now, I'd be struck by lightning. I used
Sure.
even as a believer, I would say that. So
I was there. Yeah.
yeah, it's another one of those things that it is just us trying to rationalize our
Mhm.
rebellion.
Yes.
That's
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just us
Yeah.
trying to rationalize our rebellion. I've got guys on Tuesday nights that will actually openly say that. I haven't been to church in years. I'll get struck by lightning. I was like, we'll work on you.
Yeah.
We'll work on you.
What are you doing Sunday?
Yeah.
What you doing Sunday?
I'll walk in
Let's-
with you. We'll both get hit. How about that?
Let's go. Let's see what happens.
The words
Let's
of Barney.
risk it
Challenge
up.
accepted.
Now, how hilarious would it be if you both showed up on Sunday and all of a sudden a thunderstorm rolled in?
Yeah.
I'll
He
take
look
that
at me and
bet.
be like,
I
I'm
will-
freaking out of here.
God going,
Be like,
And you
hey,
know he will. You know you're gonna
He's
take that
funny.
one friend. You're gonna take that one friend that's like,
Yeah.
if I went to church, lightning's gonna strike you. Like, nah, be cool. We will have the worst lightning storm in the
I
world.
told you. I told you I don't
how
belong
many times
here.
been it? 66 times.
66 times. Great flick. Thank you for referencing that one.
Sorry. We had some movie references.
That's good. It was my turn. It was. We got a quota, and we were not meeting our quota tonight. That's good.
'Cause
That's good.
I just know God sitting up there with a great sense of humor of just like, watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. So there is some things about The Chosen, that show, that I love that show. By the way.
Yes.
There's some stuff about it where I'm like, I could take it or leave it. But I do love the fact that they make Jesus such a funny, like he has such a fantastic sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I firmly believe like he had to have,
Oh,
because he's God come to Earth, and he's got these humans that aren't getting anything that he's saying, and he's it's got to be like. Oh, it's got to be like playing around with preschoolers.
Yeah.
Just like, what are you?
You know, there's at some point
he
he's like,
names
how
two of them the sons of thunder.
And they think it's the coolest
They
name.
think it's the coolest thing ever.
It's like like when I was growing up, my mom screwed up my haircut so bad. Just to get us off topic for a second, okay? My mom cut my hair and just botched it. I'm talking botched. And she accidentally cut it too short, and it was like a flat top situation. And she was like, "Justin, you look so cool. You look like a GI Joe." And I was like,
no.
"That is the coolest thing ever. Let's do it. let's go. And I didn't want anyone to touch my hair because I look like that's exactly what those Sons of Thunder were like. You don't get it. Like that's not the compliment, sir.
He's just trying to help you feel good about your own stupidity.
I had a professor in college like that. He'd ask a question. He's like, "No, there's no wrong answer.
Oh, that's wrong.
Oh, I love that.
Yes or no? Tell me why." And the beautiful part is you would raise your hand and you would answer it, and he goes, "Well, I see where you're going. I like where you're going.
But
What if we went like?" And he would completely turn it snap it away, but he'd make you feel like, "Oh yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant."
Gosh.
Yeah, some of my buddies were in the music school at university I went to, and they had a professor who was why I mean everybody knew like he'd throw out a question exactly, and he'd never tell them they're wrong. He'd go, well, close, and then he would give them the answer that wasn't anywhere close.
Yeah. I hear your heart. I hear your heart. Now let's move in this direction.
That was his favorite.
You like that?
Exactly.
I hear you.
Well, close, but
It's close, but not even in the same universe. That's good.
So this is art
response.
101, not social studies 101. But hey, great effort.
My favorite response is always, "I see how you got there." It's it's like I see how you got
I
there.
see how you're thinking, but that's good. That's good. Oh man. Well, let's finish up this chapter, verse 17 through 21. Who wants to read that one real quick?
Sure.
17 through 21.
But if in our endeavor to be justified in Christ, we too were found to be sinners, is Christ then a servant of sin? Certainly not. For if I rebuild what I tore down, I prove myself to be a transgressor.
Yeah.
For through the law I died to the law, so that I might live to God. I've been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. In the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not nullify the grace of God, for if righteousness were through the law, then Christ died for no purpose.
Oh, that's such a good ending passage there. So Paul addresses a possible objection. If justification is by faith, does that make Christ a servant of sin? His answer is absolutely not. I always love this is the Greek word mia genoite, which is interpreted hell no. Instead, I'm serious, that's English. Instead, Paul declares that through the law, he died to the law so that he might live to God. He has been crucified with Christ, and now Christ lives in him. The life he lives in the flesh is by faith in the Son of God who loved him and gave himself for him. To add law keeping as a requirement would nullify grace and make Christ's death pointless. So, what does Paul mean by saying, I have been crucified with Christ? And how does this union with Christ shape Christian identity?
That's to me, it's giving your old self up, right? You're allowing your old sinful life apart from Christ. You're giving that up with Christ to be crucified, because you're giving your body and you're giving your soul to Christ. So you're that's just accepting the fact of like I am. This is no longer my vessel. This vessel, this body, this spirit belongs to God. So I'm crucified with Christ because he paid for my sins on the cross. So I'm with him on the cross.
Yeah. The rebellious side of me, the side that God could not look upon, the side that God could not accept, has been nullified.
Right.
Now, not that we don't sin anymore, but from a legal standpoint, we talk about justification. My debt has been paid. Tetelestai, it is finished.
Yeah.
I have no more debt. The battle's been won. My sentence has been served in full. It is finished. Tetelestai.
Well, even when Jesus was praying in the garden before being crucified, he asked the Father, not my will, but yours be done.
Oh,
In other words,
so good.
if this cup can pass from me, please. But if not, your will, not mine. And if Jesus himself says that to the Father in order to go be crucified, then if we are crucified with Christ, then we are in that place of saying, Lord, have your way with me, have your will
Yeah.
with me.
That beautiful submission. Yeah, it's really good.
It's letting it's because to me it's twofold. It's letting your path of this life go to God's will.
Yeah.
And then your path of the everlasting life go to God.
Yeah.
It's both.
And that's a perfect way of explaining identity. My identity
Yeah.
is not, again, I am what is it's a passage in Psalms talks about I am not my own.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's not in Psalm.
No. I was bought.
I've been bought with a price.
Yeah.
And that's the, I not I, but Christ lives within me. I am not my own.
Right.
I don't belong to me. Everything I have, I submit to Christ, including who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important because there are so many Sunday morning Christians out there that go to church, enjoy the worship, throw their 20 in the offering plate, leave. I can't tell you how angry it makes me. I love my church, and I've seen it in every church. But as soon as that pastor's done preaching and he goes to pray and the band comes out for a response song, I will stand up on, we have kind of these little risers. I'll stand on the risers and I just look up and it's just flooding, everyone leaving. And it makes me want to stand down there with a gun. That sounds terrible to say, but it makes me want to get your butt back in that seat. If you leave here the same person you were when you walked in today, you failed.
Yeah.
You failed. We're not Sunday morning only Christians.
Mm-mm.
We are defined by what Christ did for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it demands a response.
Always.
Always
A response. That's just my own little soapbox. It makes me so angry, and I know some of it's legitimate.
Serving Sunday school and all
Some
that.
of it's legitimate. Go and get their kids and get out of the parking lot before it gets crowded. I get it. But maybe
like I got
maybe
growth
there's
tracks,
emergencies going on. But
No.
Take
The
Take a
Mexican
minute.
restaurant will be there.
take a minute.
Longhorns will be there.
If God is really moving in your heart, how can you walk out? How can you just walk? I don't know. Just me.
but I got to be able to back
No,
out of my
it's
parking
not
spot,
just
man.
you. It happens at our church all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
To
Every
a point where
church.
the pastor, like literally, Jason will stand there and say that exact words, like, "Guys, stick around.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't leave. Like, you got 10 more minutes. Give the Lord 10 more minutes. Like, you don't. The parking lot's going to work itself out. It always does.
Yeah.
There's no rush, and yet you still will see people get up. And I'm with you. It hurts my heart. I've been trying to move past that anger because it's like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I can't control people.
I've been
Ultimately,
guilty of that myself. So
it's,
yeah,
it's
I get it.
God.
Yeah, I
God's
was
got
gonna
to
say
do
there's been
that.
times that
God's got to do that in people's hearts, and yeah, I get that. It just frustrates me because I know that if those people really caught hold of what the gospel was, if those people really recognized what that propitiation means, what that justification means, and what it means that it is finished, then they might, I don't know, they might stick around a little longer. They might recognize how important it is to give praise and honor to a God that gave everything he had to be with them. So it's important on that, and that's kind of part of what we're talking about. Christ, how does this union with Christ shape Christian identity? You are his always. Any other thoughts on that before we hit this last question?
Nope.
Well, this has been kind of a shorter one, but I like it. It's to the point. How would your daily life look different if you fully lived out of the reality that Christ now lives in you? It's where the rubber meets the road.
I think on a whole, I would probably be nicer, or at least labeled as nicer. So it just
I think you're nice.
I appreciate that. That's because I like you. It's
Not a butthole because you're okay in my book.
no,
I love you.
I tend to can have a shorter temper, and can have it's one of those that having a fairly quick wit allows you to also know the counterpunch to throw at most people, and it's just having to have that filter. There was a lady the other day, we were at a concert, and she was coming in the exit of the concession lines and just standing there in line, and so we were trying to leave, and she just looked at me, and I was like, "You're in the exit." And she's like, "Oh, well, I didn't know." And I was like, "Yeah, you walk past the sign." And it's one of those yeah, I was being a smartass, and it's like I'm sorry, and like when I walk past, like you just kind of feel Christ go, really, like really.
Well, in that case,
Did that have to be said?
I would say it's on both sides of that coin, right? Of someone being so tunnel vision they don't see an exit sign,
Sure.
and you so tunnel visioned on this is only the exit.
Yeah.
Instead of hey, listen,
Jeez, Duke, you son of thunder.
you might not have seen the sign, but because I was about to say, I think for me it's that unfortunately the tunnel vision of I've got this that I've got to get done today,
Mhm.
or work, home, whatever it is. So tunnel vision that tunnel, I don't allow that. I don't let God into that tunnel,
Yeah.
Very good.
and so I don't let Him impact all of life.
Yeah.
And so the anxiety and the worry and all those things, instead of he has been shouting through all pages of this, I am God, not you.
Mhm.
Yep.
Please remember that when you walk out of here from the sermon and the worship service. Please.
Please take a moment, let that sink in.
Yeah.
I'm God.
Yeah.
You're not. That's good. Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
I think. How would my daily life look different?
More prayer.
Well, I can't tell you how many times, as we talked about earlier, with thinking that we live by works. There's so many times where I'm like, man, I made a mistake. I said something to a subcontractor I shouldn't have. I treated my wife poorly. I shouldn't have. I yelled at my kid.
I got to make up for it.
And it immediately goes to my day's probably going to be terrible because God's mad at me. I can't tell you how.
No.
It is
Yes.
without fault. It's just my default, and I have to say, no, that is not how God works. But so many times I'm like, oh, my day's gonna suck because I was an idiot, and that's kind of an insecurity on my part.
Sure.
Yeah.
But my day would look different if I recognized that. Obviously, we're not trying to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But that mistake Christ already died for.
And
It's
He's
already
capable of redeeming it.
it's already covered. It's covered. Not that I should continue sinning, that grace may abound, as Romans says, again with the mia genoite. I love that. Does anyone else love that? Paul cusses. It's like the greatest. Anyways, not that we should continue sinning that grace may abound, but that grace is there.
Yeah.
Like he recognizes that we are still flesh, and that flesh is mean, and that flesh is still got remnants of that rebel there that he's trying to chisel out of us. And so my day would look different if I would just grab hold of this idea of justification in the morning. Maybe that's what my prayers will be every morning.
Yeah.
God, show me again for the 1,000,000th time how you have justified me by grace.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Jesus talk about that when, let's say when He healed the blind man, and they're like, well, obviously this guy or his parents did something.
Mm,
Jesus like, no,
neither.
like he is blind. I'm not using his words, but essentially he's blind because I'm coming to do that.
So that I may be glorified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's been blind his whole life so that I could come along and heal him and get glory for that.
Get out of my head, Keith. I was literally thinking that was Justin was talking.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting how even in our modern American society, we still think like first century Jews.
Yep.
Yes.
Tells me it's part of our fallen nature.
There it is.
That wasn't written to us, but it was written for us.
So good. So good, guys.
Well, it's almost like the same person that created them created us.
Well,
Now you're just talking
Hello.
crazy.
Now.
Easy now.
listen. No, that's good. Any final thoughts on Galatians 2 there?
No.
We're just getting started, y'all. We got 4 more chapters of getting punched in the face.
Love it.
This is
It
great.
It just reminds me just how much God's given us about himself and about understanding him correctly.
So beautiful.
And he's done it time and time and time again. And we still, struggle to really understand it. But he's patient enough
Yes.
Yeah.
to keep giving. And I think that's the other thing. Like if the law was sufficient,
Yep.
right? If the law was sufficient, we wouldn't need the rest of it,
Sure.
We couldn't
Right?
measure up to the rest of it.
right? We wouldn't need anything about what Jesus says about it, anything that we wouldn't need any of this if the law was sufficient,
Mhm.
but it's not.
Right.
Because he still needs to remind us the law was pointed to something bigger.
Mhm. 100%.
It was setting up a bigger story.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, let's talk real quick about the meetings that we have. Sundays at 5 p.m. there is a Decula chapter. I don't think they call themselves Holy Smokes because they don't smoke. They like coffee and food.
The Holy
Which is-
Roasters.
Yeah. Do what?
Holy Roasters.
Holy Roasters. I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
God grinds and guns or something like that. I kind of dig that. I kind of dig that.
That would be
That's
great.
kind of a thing. But they kind of do their own thing, and I love it. I need to get over there and see them, but it's always on Sundays, and we're doing this on Sundays, so it's a little bit hard. But
Could invite
We need to
them
do
over.
remote there.
we do need to get our tails over there.
Ooh.
That's a good
Record a
idea.
podcast
There you
with
go.
there.
Record a
Right over
podcast
there
for
with them. You guys, yeah, absolutely. And then Monday, we've got a couple different groups that meet. We got one in Jefferson that meets at 6:00. And then why don't you guys talk about your amazing group?
Mm.
Get it, brother.
Well, Keith, Duke, and I kind of oversee the Auburnish, which is crazy to say now because we're located in Winder fully.
Not
my
you're like
house?
5 miles from my house.
East Auburn.
East Auburn.
East Auburn.
Very, very East Auburn.
But we meet Monday nights at my house, 7:00, and we too have food. We typically will feed you, but you're more than welcome to smoke, drink if that's your thing. If not, we welcome all. Like I've got a new guy wanting
Yeah.
to come tomorrow, and he said, "I don't drink. I quit drinking years ago, and I
Perfect.
don't smoke." And I said, "Well, come on,
Cool.
let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like food?
Yeah, we'll feed you.
If you like food and God, come. And if you
That's
don't like
right.
food, I can't help you.
I can't help you. God, maybe God can. God can.
Yeah.
Yeah, our group is we're a little lame. We don't always have food. Sometimes the guys just get hungry enough and they'll just like order something right here at the in the show. I can't tell you how many times like Nick will come. Yeah, they'll DoorDash it. Yeah, they will. They'll Grubhub it right on over. I'm dead serious. Like we'll have guys come in and Nick, I love him. We call him Summer Santa. He's a big old dude with his big old blonde beard.
Oh, I
We call
love
him Summer Santa. I love him. But he comes in all the time. He's like, I'm freaking starving. Anybody want some chicken wings from Blazers? Yeah. Cool. I'm going to get 50 of them. They'll be here in 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. Okay. So every now and then we get lucky. Peter will go grab a pizza every now and then, but yeah, I'm a failure and I don't provide food. Not as cool as Brandon is, but
Just throw it out
Yeah.
to the group. That's what we do. We
I was
just
gonna say,
hey,
yeah,
there you go.
we
who wants to
usually
cover food
toss
tonight?
out the group, have somebody volunteer.
that's a good idea.
So-
Just don't even think about it.
It's just a rotation, and I mean, for the most part, it's an honor system rotation. But we all
Yeah,
kind of, yeah,
Yeah, we won't honor you if you don't bring it. Yep, heard that.
100%.
Tuesday, 100%. So
In that case, I'm way up
I'm
in the
way
honor board.
everyone loves you, Daddy Keith. So Tuesdays at 7 p.m. are at my house, at
The
my little
shop.
shop where we currently are right now. But
At
it
the
wouldn't
Holy
look
Spirit
like that
studio.
because we have this wonderful studio that's in the corner. So we have a blast. Our two groups, I think, are the only ones that are actually going by the curriculum.
What's Jefferson doing?
Jefferson is kind of more of a little bit like more evangelistic. They got
Okay.
a few guys there that that don't know Christ yet. I'll just
Gotcha.
say, and so they're going through. I think John. They're going. Straight
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going straight
Okay.
through John, and so
It's
I love
fantastic.
it.
Yeah.
Which they're hitting some deep theology there, but we're praying
It's
for the
everywhere.
Lord. We're praying for the Lord to reveal Himself to some of these guys and just change their lives.
What's the
That's
point of going through Galatians if they don't understand who Jesus is in the first place?
Very good.
Which is why Joe Head and Jared Jones are the ones that kind of lead that, and that's kind of the conversation we had. Joe
Yeah.
was like, "Listen, we don't need to be going through the hypostatic union and the Trinity." Well, I'm like, 100%. That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? So they started out doing a little bit of Matthew. They wanted to get some of that genealogy of Jesus' birth, and they jumped into John. So
It's awesome.
I know Aaron's group out in Decula, they're doing some sort. I think they just finished up like a marriage enrichment book. I think they're going into another book of the Bible. I need to meet with him, but anyways, we'll wrap it up. I appreciate you guys being here. Always want to give honor to Second City Beverage Company for the liquor that we have not gotten in a while.
Hey, we're grateful.
I'm very grateful. Very grateful. It's delicious, and we haven't
Great.
gotten it in a while.
We're grateful for all the empty bottles.
For all the empty bottles. Well, they're empty. So we love them. They produce fantastic products. Shoot, I'm also going to give a shout out to Remedy. Remedy Distillery is so freaking good.
Yes.
So
good.
You know what? I'm just gonna just start sending you these podcasts. You just listen to it, and we're gonna do one at y'all's distillery in downtown Flowery Branch.
Maybe that's what we could do. If we're going to do remote, let's reach out to them, see if we can do a remote there.
We should. Well, we've reached out before, got no response. But Second City Beverage Company, they're just up in Augusta.
Yeah.
So we could do like a day trip up there and do a podcast up there and like taste test some stuff. And I don't know, just to reach out to them and see. Juan's got the connection
All
over
for
there.
the glory of God, right?
All
You said they're in
for the
Augusta.
glory of Elohim. So,
Second City's in Augusta, you said?
Augusta.
We can go there probably like first week in April. Here.
They've got a kill. I know you got to go in a second. They've got a killer line of bourbon creamers. What did you say? I'm sorry.
So we got to go like they're usually free and open second weekend or first weekend in April.
Shut
We
up.
could just
No, we're not doing. We're
pop
not.
in.
I-
Yeah,
Listen, I'm in it for a pimento cheese sandwich.
I'm just
down
saying.
with that.
Like, he's got
Just-
the cup, so
just-
we're good.
There you go. Second City.
Second City. Hey.
We can remote
bless.
from Berkman's place. I'm just saying.
Oh, love you guys. Well, y'all smoke it up, drink it up, and love Jesus. See you. Bye.